I have two reasons not to. It is uncomfortable to sit on. I do not want to get pickpocket. Story 1. I used to when I was young. Then I asked myself the same question, and now I carry it in my front pocket. Story 2. I am too paranoid and constantly check my pockets. Imagine me patting my back pocket to check my wallet is there all the time. It stays in my front pocket with my keys. Story 3. I do not know where else it would go. I wear pants to work every day, and my phone is in the front right pocket, keys in the front left, and wallet in the back right. Then I take it out when I sit down. Why would you sit on it? Story 4. Front pocket wallet user here. I have been using it for years. I have a very slim wallet that holds a couple of credit cards and a driver's license. It is all I need. Plus, someone tried to steal my wallet when I was in New York City. It is a lot harder to do when it is in your front pocket. Story 5. Actually, I normally just empty my pockets completely when I sit down. Phone out, wallet out, keys out, and multi-tool out. I cannot go anywhere without it. I just do not like anything in my pockets, but I keep my wallet in the back pocket. It is an old bulky wallet from high school that looks like a Nintendo Entertainment System controller. I am not worried about being pickpocketed. It has never happened to me. Also, given the size of the wallet, it would be easy to notice it sliding out. I feel it all the time, but it is kind of like how your eyes ignore your nose. Story 6. I keep mine light, so it is not really a bother to sit on. Pickpocketing is not really a problem in my city, nor have I heard of it being an issue anywhere in the United States. Story 7. Back right pocket, wallet. Back left pocket, phone. Front left pocket, keys. Front right pocket, defensive item. There is no additional free space. Story 8. Mine isn't uncomfortable in the back pocket, and I have other items I need in the front. What kind of large wallets are you carrying? Story 9. It's really not that uncomfortable. You get used to it. But if I'm at work and sitting down for a few hours, I take it out of my back pocket. When it comes to pickpockets, I live in Philadelphia. It has high crime but not much pickpocketing. If I'm going to get robbed, it will be at gunpoint, and in that case, which pocket it is in doesn't matter. I also find having my wallet in my back pocket much more comfortable when walking around compared to my front pocket. I don't usually wear jackets or carry bags, so I don't have anywhere else to put it. Story 10. I have a phone case with slots that fit my credit cards, identification card, and some other cards. Can also hold a few dollars if I am not going to pay with a card. My phone goes in my front pocket. I hardly notice it there, and I wear tighter fitting pants. Story 11. That's just where it goes. Everyone knows that. It would be just as uncomfortable and look ridiculous in the front. Story 12. I used to, but I have an Arc'teryx crossbody bag fanny pack that I use as my daily driver. I keep my wallet, a phone charger, chapstick, and other small essentials in there. It is much more comfortable, and I haven't gone back since. Story 13. Slimline wallet, not uncomfortable to sit on. I sat on it half the day today at my desk and didn't notice. I have had 2 bungled attempts at being pickpocketed in 40 years, both at crowded concerts. It is not a common occurrence that I would plan around it. Phone and keys go in the front 2 pockets and must be kept separate if you like your phone screen, as they are really uncomfortable to sit on. There is nowhere else for them to go. Story 14. I stopped a few years ago. I switched to one of those carbon fiber wallets with a money clip and a section to hold your cards. It is the best money I have ever spent. Saved my back. Story 15. Phone in my front left pocket, keys and wallet in the front right. Loose change and papers go into the back pockets for sorting later. And yes, there is plenty of room in my pockets for this. One of the benefits of not wearing skinny jeans. Story 16. I keep it in my front left pocket. I used to keep it in my back pocket until, quite randomly, in college it caused my spine to become misaligned. It was a very thin wallet, and I was broke anyway, so it throwing my back out of whack was unexpected for me. I still experience some severe back pain occasionally a decade later, but it stays in the front pocket from now on. Story 17. I leave the keychain in the front left pocket, everything except coins in the right pocket and coins in the back left pocket. Various cards are in the wallet along with cash for when the cards do not work. Story 18. I switched to the front pocket many years ago. It is hard to grab from there and easy from the back, but it is also not good for your spine. Story 19. I completely agree. I don't know why either. I always saw it as something the older generation, like my 70-year-old stepfather, does. I also have trifold wallets. Story 20. Big bulky wallets do not fit in your front pocket and would look ridiculous if they did. Fortunately, now they have smaller wallets so you do not have to. People do not steal, do they? That would be silly. But I do not keep track of what other people do with their money. That would be a bit sketchy. Story 21. I do not think many people actually keep their wallets in their back pockets. That is just a thing in cartoons. I keep my phone, keys, and wallet in my front pockets, which I think everyone does. Story 22. I switched to a card holder and always carry it in my front pocket. When I had a thicker wallet, I kept it in the back pocket. Story 23. Phone, headphones, and other electronics go in one of the front pockets. Keys, coins, or other metal items, such as a lighter that can scratch my phone, go in the other front pocket. The wallet goes in the back pocket because it is too bulky but moves to one of the front pockets when needing to sit, such as while driving or in class. Story 24. I carry a bag. I picked up that habit when I was traveling a lot. It is common practice for men to carry a messenger bag with a wallet, keys, passport, and phone. If I can go the day without stabbing myself in the leg with a stray key, it is a win. That has not happened since I started keeping my keys in my bag. Mine is just big enough for everything I really need. Story 25. I have 3 essential items. 1. Keys. 2. Phone. 3. Wallet. The only one that can go in the back pocket without causing discomfort or damage is the wallet. Phone and keys in the same pocket is a bad idea. Phone and wallet together make things very tight and hard to remove one without dropping the other. Wallet and keys together will also ruin the wallet quickly. Story 26. I used to, but I stuffed so much in my wallet that it offset my hips and created back problems. Now I do not carry a wallet typically. Story 27. Because my front pockets have my phones on one side and keys, knife, and lighter on the other, if I added my wallet to the front, I would not be able to grab what I wanted without fishing around. Story 28. Front left holds phone, front right holds keys, back right holds wallet. It has been that way since I was 16 and could drive. I am right-handed, so the wallet is on the right side. Story 29. I have too much stuff in my pockets, and it does not sit well, so back right it is. Story 31. You may have a bony backside. It bothers me when sitting or driving, especially in my front pocket. You can put that item on a chain. Also, I live in an area where pickpocketing does not happen, so it is not a concern. Story 31. In some countries, it is necessary to use the front pocket, or else you risk easier pickpocketing. This could be regional as well, but where I live, unfortunately or fortunately, 90% of people use the front pocket. Story 32. It's easier. I have keys and reading glasses in one front pocket, then the phone in the other. That leaves the wallet in the back pocket. Story 33. I grab my phone, keys, and headphones more often. They live in the front. My wallet is thin enough that it is not uncomfortable to sit on. There is no chance I am sitting on those other 3 items. Story 34. We have a famous dialogue from where I am from that roughly translates to tradition, prestige, discipline. I grew up seeing my ideal, typical masculine men carry their wallets in their back pockets. They were used to it because the city was less populated in their time, and they were twice as ready to defend themselves compared to me. For safety reasons, my wallet is typically in my front pocket. However, when I am in a safe location and know I will be there for a while, I tend to shift my phone or wallet to the back pocket. It just seems cool. Story 35. When I was young, I kept my keys and lighter in my front right pocket so I could reach them easily. The cigarettes were in my front left pocket to prevent them from getting crushed in the rear pockets. The wallet had to go in the rear right pocket because the front pockets were full. Story 36. It is the most comfortable pocket. I hate having items in my pockets already. The back left pocket is the only one where I can honestly forget I have something in there. Story 37. I do not like bulky front pockets. That is the only reason. I have never been pickpocketed in my 47 years. When I go somewhere known for it, I usually change its position. I do not feel it at all when sitting. Story 38. I keep nothing in my back pockets. Yes, I mainly wear cargo pants. Why do you ask? Also, who asked that? Who goes there? Story 39. I hate big or bulky items in my front pocket. Also, it has a chain which would look strange. It goes in the back pocket unless I am wearing a suit, in which case it might go in the inner coat pocket with a different chain for a two-piece suit or a vest pocket for a three-piece suit. Story 40. At least 8 months of the year it goes into my jacket pocket. The remainder of the time it is in the front pocket or on the table when sitting down. It goes in the back pocket when walking or standing up. Story 41. Oddly, I do it not because of comfort but style. If it is in the front pant pocket, it looks like you have a square shape in your pocket. The same goes for your phone. It just looks odd. The only exception is if you are wearing a coat and can put it in the internal pocket. That is my favorite. Story 42. You do not have to have a fat wallet. I barely notice my wallet in my pocket when I sit down. All I have in mine is my identification, credit and debit cards, and my health insurance card. Story 43. I got one of those neat metal wallets. Initially, I thought they were a bad idea because they would just put holes in all of your back pockets. I knew a guy who had one, and it was so small he always carried it in his front pocket. That's where I carry mine. I didn't see myself going back to a regular wallet. Before that, I used a minimalist leather wallet. I got a couple for the men in my family during a Christmas sale. My father-in-law said it was cool and said he would carry it in addition to his regular large old man wallet. I said, "No, this replaces your old wallet. You don't need 2 wallets." But he replied, "Well, I have all these cards, and this metal one only holds 7 cards." I tried to talk sense into him and explain that you really don't need all those cards with you at all times. He didn't understand. Story 44. I used to keep it in the front, but I was getting way too much attention from the ladies. Plus, shopkeepers refused to take my money. Story 45. I do not know. Anything in my back pocket feels uncomfortable when I sit, and men's pants usually have large pockets. Story 46. Front left. Phone. Front right. Keys, change, earbuds, accessories. Rear right. Wallet. Rear left. That's a secret. Story 47. Once I got an extra wallet. It was so slim that I had to switch it to the front. The old version was bulky and awkward to carry in the front pocket. Story 48. I have 2 reasons. 1. The front pocket is uncomfortable. I am not worried about being pickpocketed. Story 49. What kind of George Costanza wallets are the people in this thread carrying around? I have never once noticed the wallet in my back pocket when I was sitting. Also, pickpockets are not a problem in everyday life where I live. Story 50. I would never. My right pocket has my phone and my wallet. My left pocket has all my keys and earbuds. Comfortable, works like a charm, and I am not afraid of pickpockets. Story 51. I used to carry mine in my back pocket. When I was around 20, a doctor told me my back would probably hurt less if I stopped sitting on it. Over time, I migrated to the front pocket. Also, I use a minimalist wallet with an identification card, a couple of important cards, a couple of credit cards, and a little cash. I don't have a lot of back pain and have never been pickpocketed. I know people who remove it from their back pocket before sitting. I don't trust myself to remember it every time I get up. Story 52. Additionally, sitting for a long time is not healthy for your back. Being lumpy, it would be annoying to keep it in a front pocket, and since you do not wear jackets all year, the back pockets are the best option most of the time. However, if you are in a place where you might get pickpocketed, move it somewhere safer. I usually use my front pocket or inner jacket pocket during winter and always remove it when sitting for an extended period, such as in the office or while driving. Story 53. My friend had his wallet stolen from his back pocket at a Social Distortion concert in 2011. The rest of us took our wallets out, moved them to our front pockets, and they have stayed there ever since. Story 54. Number 2, jokes on them, there is nothing in my wallet or on the cards. There might be a buy one get one free coupon for Subway. Story 55. I have always kept it in my back pocket and do not even notice it is there, to the point that I also do not notice if it is not there. It does not even wear out the pocket the way my keys and knife wear on the front pocket. I cannot keep it in the left front pocket. That is for my phone. I suppose I could put it into the right front pocket, but it would be inconvenient when I need to pull my keys or my knife. Pickpocketing? Is that even a thing? I hear people do that in Paris, but other than that, I never hear of it happening outside fantasy stories. Besides, I almost always wear a shirt or coat they would have to lift to get to the pocket. Story 56. I have too many rewards cards and stuff in mine, so it is not possible to keep it in my back pocket. Story 57. Why would you even carry a wallet? Everything is on the phone, and I have my identification and a company credit card in the case. Story 58. I don't understand how people keep their wallets in their back pockets. For me, the back pocket of my pants is on the side of my buttocks, so my wallet sits off to the side when I sit. Story 59. Because of your weak 4-pocket trousers that only have 2 side and 2 back pockets, where else are you going to put it? Don't get me wrong, it can give you a bad back over time from sitting on it. But do you really want side pockets that look like a hamster on a food run? This is where I need to introduce the venerable cargo trousers and shorts. These have 2 extra pockets lower down on the sides of your legs, which allow for easy storage of your phone, wallet, and keys in 3 of them, while still having a side pocket spare. There is no need to ever use those back pockets again, unless you want to carry Jeff's wallet for him because he doesn't have pockets, of course. Story 60. I kept mine there for decades because that is where it goes. Then I drove for Uber for a few months and quickly learned to put it in the front because it was such a pain. Story 61. Options include a jacket pocket, especially in colder months. A hip pocket is uncomfortably tight. A cargo pocket could be an option. Story 62. I would never keep any valuables in my front pockets where I can hold them with my hands in the pockets. Story 63. Mine started giving me back pain. I switched to an extra wallet and put it in my front pocket, and it changed my life. The benefit of this wallet is that you cannot fill it with a bunch of junk. Mine holds about 5 cards, including my identification. Story 64. Does nobody here have cargo pants or shorts? Wallet goes on the left side and phone goes on the right side. Back pockets remain empty all the time. Story 65. I prefer to carry 1 or 2 items in each pocket rather than a bunch of things in any one pocket. I dislike pulling out one item and having another fall out or needing to be maneuvered around. All of that is annoying and looks untidy in my opinion. I have 4 things I almost always carry outside the house: phone, wallet, keys, and chapstick. Phone goes in the right pocket, keys and chapstick in the left pocket, and wallet in the right back pocket. Everything fits well and comes in and out of the pocket smoothly. Only the phone is visible through the pocket. None of these items would be better placed in my back pocket than my wallet. Placing the wallet with the other items in front would cause the problems I mentioned regarding too many items in one pocket. I keep my keys to a minimum, 2 keys on a small ring. My wallet is very slim with 4 cards and a small slit in the middle for 1 or 2 half-folded bills. I barely notice it's there unless I think about it, like right now. Story 66. It's just what ends up happening, really. Do not put anything in the same pocket as the phone in the right front pocket of the dominant hand side, or you risk damaging the screen. Keys and other items with sharp ends in the other front pocket might damage the leather wallet. There is nowhere else to put them in the front. The wallet goes in the back pocket on the dominant hand side. Remove the wallet when getting into the car. Story 67. I have always done it since I got my very first one. Anywhere else is just uncomfortable. That being said, I do not even carry a wallet anymore. Story 68. Front pockets are for the phone and my keys. I keep my wallet thin, and it is not uncomfortable at all in the back. Story 69. My luck, the thing would fall out and there goes my evening. So no, this is never an option for me. Story 70, because most people grew up watching others put wallets in back pockets and followed without thinking, which is also true when it comes to religions. When you do think, you realize how unwise it is to keep your wallet in the back pocket. It is easy to get stolen, uncomfortable to sit, and it ruins your pants. Story 71, because the front one already contains my keys, loose change, lighter, earphones, paper, tissues, 25 kilogram cement, portable chair, and a 10 by 10 meter outdoor survival tarp. Story 72, I stopped using a wallet. I carry my cards, including my driver's license and credit cards, in my right front pocket. I carry my cash without any coins in my left front pocket. I travel a lot and have never been pickpocketed. Story 73, 1. I wear mountaineering pants, so I never sit on my wallet despite carrying it in my back pocket. Pickpockets are non-existent where I live. Car thieves, on the other hand, are a problem. Tradition. I have a very particular pocket organization system. Story 74. I actually chose it for the same reasons you did. However, I learned from my chiropractor that it is also very bad for your back because it affects your sitting posture. Story 75. I carry a thin wallet, but I usually keep it in my bag nowadays. When I need it without my bag, it goes in the back pocket. The same with my keys, but those go in the front pocket, usually with my earbuds. My phone is in the opposite pocket. There is no other place for my wallet but the back pocket. Story 76. I don't know why they do that. I agree with you. I have the same 2 reasons and 2 additional reasons not to keep my wallet in a back pocket. Third, aside from being pickpocket, I feel it could fall out of my pocket and I may not notice. Fourth, I feel more organized keeping important items in my front pockets. Story 77. The phone has a dedicated front pocket for easy access. Keys also have a front pocket because sitting on keys is uncomfortable. The wallet used to go in the back pocket, but I switched to pants with weak rear pocket stitching. I got tired of dropping my wallet into my shoe, so now it goes in my cargo pocket. I do not put it with my phone because my wallet is a metal money clip. Story 78. It's uncomfortable to sit on. I don't have this issue. I also spend very little time sitting down when I am out and about. I stand all day at work. I also don't wear my pants so low that I am sitting on my wallet. I don't want to get pickpocketed. This is not a concern for me. I don't live in a big city and I am not walking around among a large number of people. Nobody gets close enough to me to pick my pocket. If I kept it in my front pocket, I would not be able to sit down at all, and it would be very uncomfortable. It would be uncomfortable just walking around with it in my front pocket. I do not even like my keys being in my front pocket. Story 79. Travax makes great slim wallets, as well as pants with wide back pockets from 5.11. This prevents sitting on my wallet, even when it contains 25 cards. The wallet also has a leather strap that attaches to your belt, making it harder to steal. My other pockets have items in them. Story 80. Front pockets have keys in one and a phone in the other. I do not want to sit on my phone or my keys, so it is pretty obvious why. Story 81. It's odd to me as a European how the United States is still so dependent on cash. Here in Norway, basically everything is paid with a card nowadays. Yes, cash is still accepted, but only really old people and drug dealers use or carry cash. Story 82. I downsized my wallet to a super thin sleeve. I don't notice it in my back pocket. Definitely not like Grandpa's wallet that used to be 3 inches thick. Story 83. I don't carry a wallet. I carry a messenger bag with all the other things I might need. If I don't feel like carrying my bag, I usually wear pants or shorts with cargo pockets and put it in those. There is a weird macho stereotype about men with bags that I am just not aware of. I don't really care if other people think I am weak or not manly because I would rather be prepared and not inconvenienced by holding a lot on me at all times. Story 84. Wallets used to need to carry a lot of items. Also, if you were keeping things in your front pockets, then the back pocket fit a wallet nicely. Story 85. If you wear denim, front pockets are less flexible and consequently harder to access, especially with a bulky wallet. Your phone is slim, so that's not a problem. Plus, if you carry your wallet with another item, it becomes really uncomfortable. Oh, and it is very cool. Story 86. I switched about 10 years ago and now carry it in my front pocket. Too many people just need the opportunity these days. Story 87. I do not like to carry my keys and phone in the same pocket. Having my wallet with either one would be too bulky. Additionally, having any of these items in my back pocket would be uncomfortable. Story 88. I cannot fathom putting my wallet in the back pocket. I would be worried it was gone all the time. In the left pocket goes the phone, in the right pocket go the keys and wallet. Sometimes a padlock for the gym locker and earbuds are also included. Story 89. Who and what do you carry in a wallet these days? I have never had one and cannot work out what would be in it. Story 90. I maintain a very thin wallet, so it is not uncomfortable to sit on. Most of my back pockets have snaps, Velcro, or zippers. I have not been pickpocketed as far as I know. If I feel I am in an area where I am vulnerable to pickpocketing, I change the location of my wallet on my person. Story 91. I was a back pocket person for 50 years. If I was wearing a suit jacket, it would be in my inside pocket. About 5 years ago, I bought a shoulder bag while on holiday. I am now a shoulder bag convert. It is just a half-size messenger style. Story 92. I don't. My wallet attaches to the back of my iPhone. My conventional wallet stays in my desk drawer with various cards that I don't need to carry with me. Story 93. When I carried a traditional wallet, it was easier to put it in that pocket since it was the biggest one. However, I started noticing lower back pain because of it. Then I switched to a Ridge wallet knockoff that easily fits in any pocket. I usually do not need that many cards or cash, so now I use a MagSafe wallet attached to my phone, which is almost always in my hands. Story 94. I don't carry anything in my pockets. I always wear a shoulder bag or man bag where I carry my wallet, keys, reading glasses, sunglasses, and cell phone. Story 95. I started putting it in my front pocket for safety and realized how much more comfortable it was. I never looked back. Story 96. My wallet only holds cards, so it is small. I do not really notice it, to be honest. I am a woman, so the pockets in the front are too small. Story 97. I hate carrying things in my pockets. It is uncomfortable, and bulging, stuffed pockets look childish and goofy. If I am outside, I usually have a small shoulder bag or crossbody bag for daily necessities. Wallet, keys, and phone at a minimum. Story 98. Honestly, it is pure intergenerational habit. I know I can move it to the front pocket, but it just feels weird. That is it. That is all it amounts to. Story 99. I am with you. It has always been in my front pocket. More convenient, more comfortable, and less exposed. I am pretty sure it has foiled one pickpocketing attempt that way too. Story 100. Because my phone goes in the front left pocket, my keys and lip balm go in the front right pocket. The wallet needs its own pocket, and the back pocket is rectangular, making it the perfect fit. Story 101. I do not like the feeling of items in my front pockets. If I put anything there, it is only temporary because I am carrying more items than I have hands for. My wallet is in my back pocket, my keys are on a carabiner clip hooked to a belt loop, and my phone is in a case clipped to my belt. Story 102. It will not fit anywhere else. In the front pocket, it would stop me from sitting down, bending, or crouching. The only front pocket I can use is if I keep my lighter in the watch pocket. Otherwise, the front pockets are useless for me. Story 103. Pickpockets are extremely uncommon where I live unless you are in a big city. Plus, my pockets are not baggy. I struggle to get it out of my back pocket frequently. As for discomfort, I am used to it. It actually sits on my lower thigh, not my buttocks. I do not think I could sit on it comfortably, but being in a side or front pocket. I do not need a big piece of leather constantly getting in the way, taking up easily accessible pocket space and heating up my leg. Story 104. That's where it goes. I can't imagine sitting with it in a front pocket. Besides, where would I put my gun? Story 105. I keep my phone and keys in the middle compartment of my car instead of my front pocket. If I need to take my wallet somewhere, such as a restaurant that does not accept Apple Pay, I put it in a different pocket than where I keep my keys and phone, either front or back. My wife is very surprised that I don't carry my wallet everywhere I go. Story 106. Look, if someone can reach into your back pocket and take your wallet without you noticing, the problem is not that your wallet should not be in the back pocket. It is that your pants do not fit properly. Story 107. I used to have back pain, but when I started putting it in the front pocket, the pain stopped. Story 108. Better question. Why in the 21st century do you carry a wallet? Everything I need to do, I can do much better with my phone than anything in my wallet. A wallet is nothing but ballast or a security blanket. Story 109. Because my keys, knife, Leatherman, and light go in my front pockets. All of these are less comfortable to sit on than my wallet. Story 110. My phone goes in the left pocket, my keys in the right. The only place left for them is in the back pocket. Story 111. Because I keep my phone in my front pocket, and I do not keep so many items in my wallet that I feel it when I sit. Story 112. I prefer to have only one item per pocket. Phone and keys go in the front pockets, and wallet goes in the back left pocket. My wallet is a very thin leather bifold, no thicker than 1/3 of an inch when full. I purposefully keep very few things in it. Identification card, credit card, debit card, a couple of insurance cards, and a folded $20 bill. Story 113. I did for a long time, but then I had pain in my hip from arthritis, so I got a smaller wallet and moved it to my front cargo pocket on the same side. Story 114. I always have and I always will. Wallet on the right-hand side, my Ken of Copenhagen on the left. It is surprising that you fear becoming a victim of a pickpocket. I thought that stuff only happened in movies. I live in the mountains and we do not really have that type of crime. Story 115. 1. I live in Australia and have never been pickpocketed. I put it in my front pocket overseas and keep my hand on it in crowded places. I mainly leave it in the car and only carry a couple of cards with me now. Everything is on my phone. It is just a backup in case something happens to my phone. Story 116. Pop did it. Grandpop did it. Great-grandpop did it. So why won't I do it? And my son is going to do it too. Understood. Story 117. It looks and feels ridiculous, especially when walking in a front pocket. Just take it out when you sit down. Story 118. I am a man of both ways, as I switched to one of those fancy sliding mini wallets but had the normal one since I was 10. First, it is not at all uncomfortable in the back pocket. You have to buy a good leather one and then use it for more than 10 years. That thing forms itself into an extension of your body. You don't feel it. Second, even the tiny one gets on my nerves in the front pocket all the time. Now my front pockets are completely crowded. I have my private phone, my work phone, my wallet, my key, my car key, everything in the front pockets. My back pockets are empty. I am seriously thinking about ending this experiment early and going back to the old ways. Story 119. That is the spot I keep it. It is a muscle memory place. Keeping it in my front pocket is uncomfortable because it is also a billfold. Story 120. Simple, it is much easier to put in and take out of the pocket. I have to struggle to either get it out or put it in, and I hate that. Story 121. People do this? Mine sits in my front right pocket with my knife. Front left is for my phone. The carabiner holds my keys. My back pockets exist solely to hang tools from while I am at work. Story 122. I never really understood that either. Keys and wallet on one side, phone on the other, is the way to go. Story 123. It looks like I have a butt. I take it out to sit or drive. Phone and keys are in front pockets. Story 124. I have never used a back pocket for anything except holding hands. It is very easy to steal items from back pockets, and you do not feel it when it happens. Story 125. I always carry my keys, my phone, and my wallet. Out of these 3 items, the only one I don't mind sitting on is my wallet. Story 126. 1. I don't feel it. It shifts beyond my cheek while sitting. 2a. That does not happen here. 2b. The police will notify your next of kin about the cause of your death. You will be shot. I can only speak for myself. You die attempting a pickpocket. That is not just being cocky. I know the district attorney. She will not even attempt to bring charges for a robbery like that. Story 127. It is usually the phone in the left pocket, keys in the right pocket, and wallet in the back pocket. However, sometimes my wallet ends up in my right pocket with my keys. Story 128. Because it feels strange to put it where my genitals are and it is too large for my side pockets, and society has not made it normal for men to carry purses, my only option is to either carry it or put it in my back pocket. Story 129. I used to carry my wallet in my back pocket until the first time I traveled internationally and was advised not to. Since then, I carry my phone in my front right pocket and my wallet and keys in my front left pocket. I stopped carrying my keys in the same pocket as my phone after it cracked my screen. Story 130. It's the way I was taught, and it has shaped how I choose my pants or shorts. I don't worry about pickpocketing because I don't keep anything of true value in them. Anything that I can't afford to lose or replace doesn't live in my wallet, so it makes it easier not to care. Story 131. Where do you live post-COVID-19 that you would be in a crowd to get pickpocketed? On the other hand, I am sitting at my personal computer for hours at a time. Sitting on my wallet is not necessary. Often, I am not even wearing pants. Story 132. Where else would you keep it? The use of a wallet is becoming obsolete with the advent of electronic everything. The need to carry multiple credit cards and cash is on a long decline. It will not be long before the use of actual cash becomes a thing of the past. Story 133. My dad always kept and still keeps his in his front left pocket. That's where mine has always been as well. Story 134. It was lesson number 5 on becoming a man, right after learning to change a tire but before tying a tie. Back in my day, that was the only way to get the condom impression in it, sitting on it. So at 13, you are cool and ready just in case. Story 135. Because I dislike the looks I receive when I have to fish it out from the front of my underwear. Additionally, sometimes after I remove it, it is a hassle to put it back in, and I often forget to re-zip. Story 136. I recommend not doing this. I had a thick wallet in the same back pocket for a long time, and it ended up contributing to back issues. Story 137. Keys in the left pocket, phone in the right pocket, wallet in the back right pocket, nothing in the back left pocket. Story 138. Keys left front, phone right front, wallet back right. It's the most comfortable sitting option, and I like the organization. If the weight is off on one side, I immediately know what I'm missing. Story 139. It looks weird and does not fit well in my front pocket. I always take out my phone and wallet from the respective back pockets when I go to sit down, which is not a big hassle for me. Story 140. I do not like to keep items in my front pockets. If I am in a city known for pickpocketing, I will put only essential items in my front pocket. Story 141. When my wallet was thicker, I used to keep it there because it was a pain to get in and out of my front jeans pocket. I have thoroughly purged it so that it is very streamlined now, and I keep it in the front. Story 142. 1. It is uncomfortable to walk with items in my front pockets. I realize that pickpocketing is a possibility in theory, but I am a 42-year-old man who travels extensively and have yet to be a victim, so it is not worth changing your life around because of it. Story 143. 100% agreed. It also leads to silly wear marks on the back pocket. Maybe they want their rear grabbed. Now I am considering doing it. Story 144. It fits best in the back pocket. Front pockets are for your phone on the left and your car key on the right. The wallet is usually soft and flat so you can sit on it. The same applies to a card clip compared to keys or your phone, which can be damaged in the back pocket. Actually, now that I think about it, it only makes sense to carry your wallet in your front right pocket if you do not own a car. Story 145. My front pockets have a cell phone, keys, and a .380 caliber handgun. Cannot fit. A better question is, why are we still carrying wallets? I use Apple Pay for everything. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.